Good morning. Welcome back to the Hood Table, everyone. Please like and share the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Now, today, everybody, I'm uploading this video because of the fact that there was a video that I had uploaded a couple of years ago, July 10th, 2020, and it was of a Walmart fight, an incident between two people over a handicap cart. And later that night, I did an interview with one of the customers. Now, on the original video, the fight, it was about, I don't know, it was a few minutes long. So I had uploaded that by itself. But lately, a lot of people have been commenting because the video been shared around Facebook and everywhere. It's like went viral, almost at 500,000 views. But you can look it up. It's almost at 500,000 views, and the title of the fight is Walmart Fight, Don't Mess with the Handicap. That's the original video. But I have been getting people questioning me on Facebook and just commenting on random YouTube videos of mine talking about, where's the interview? I heard you had an interview with the guy who was in that situation at Walmart. So I did do an interview, and it was that same night, but it was during my Friday Night Live, so it wasn't like a separate interview or nothing like that. It was actually during a live show I did, and the guy told me to call him to do an interview. So what I'm doing in this video, I'm posting the original fight, and then right after that, you're going to see the interview that I did later that night over the phone with the guy who was involved in that incident on the in the handicap cart. So you guys, if you haven't seen the original video, you're going to see that first, and then you're going to see the interview that I did later that night. And again, you guys, make sure you like and share the video, subscribe to the Hood Table channel if you're not already subscribed, please, and thank you very much.
Mr. J. Mr. J. What's going on?
Put the pen down.
Come on, daughter. Y'all shut this bitch down. That faggot ass motherfucker got me fucked up.
It's done.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck you.
done.
Fuck you, bitch. You ain't shit. Punk ass police, I ain't shit. You let that fucking faggot throw that shit at me.
Bitch, you do something at me first. Oh, black, yo, charge muffin ass, motherfucking black. Hey,
She the one started it.
She started it?
Yeah.
What happened?
I was standing right there watching the whole thing.
Well, she started cussing him out first?
Yeah, because she wanted him to get off of the scooter.
She wanted him to get off the scooter?
Yeah, she wanted him to get off the scooter.
But he riding it for a reason, right?
She wanted him to get off the scooter because he has a bad back, but her husband is on crutches, and so she said, "I'll slap." He said,
She threatened to slap
I
the
wish
dude on
you
the
would.
scooter.
He said, I wish you would.
You saw the whole thing?
What happened?
The girl threw the pot at me. She came over here. The lady at the lady who gave me this car, I walked her to her car. And she didn't say nothing about giving this car to nobody. I got in this car, she walked up on me right on that shelf over there and told me, "Bitch, you know that car was for my man." I said, "Girl, who the fuck are you talking to? Bitch, you can walk." First off, I'm disabled through the state of Nebraska. Honey, I don't have no hips. First off, hold on. First off, I don't have no hips. I don't have no hips. I can't walk.
I'm gonna need you to come back and do that.
Why? I'm not doing that. She threw the pots at me. I'm talking to her. Well, I'm talking to her. I'll bring it down. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I'll bring it down. Okay, well, then I'm going to. I don't have to come back ever to this Walmart.
That is fine, but I need
And trust me, I will do a physical report about the accident that just happened up here. What is your name? What is your name?
Omaha.
What is your name?
My name does not matter
Yes,
right
it
now
does.
because
Okay.
I do not work for Omaha Police Department.
Okay, what is your,
I
what's your
work for a
security guard?
company.
And so, what is your name? I'm
contact
asking you
me.
what's your name
You
is.
can contact Allied Universal.
No,
if you
that's
want my
okay.
name.
Let me tell you.
But right now,
He didn't start.
I did not start this. That woman. No, he's talking about it because I'm talking loud. And I told him that I would bring my level down.
nobody's getting in trouble or getting.
But I told you I would bring my level down. I'm sorry about that.
I hear you, but I need you to leave today.
Well, I'm not going to walk down that parking lot. That woman's still out there in the parking lot. Because if she comes
They
out,
exit out the other store.
that don't mean nothing.
He's with me, and he just.
I told you I would bring my level down.
I gotta.
Because I got to do some
Are you
shopping.
okay if he says? How this?
I told you I would bring my
If
back.
he goes, I gotta go.
Please let the man stay. He didn't start it. He didn't start it.
She came up to him and she asked him. She told him, well, not really asked him. The man didn't get out of his basket.
Or she was gonna
And
slap
He
him.
told her, "I have a bad back." She said, "I don't give a blah blah blah. My husband is on crutches." He said, "And what that doesn't mean?"
First off,
That's so she
the lady
went
who
off.
gave it to me, I asked her for it, but I told you I would bring my level down.
Okay.
I understand that, but I'll bring my levels down. If you understand that, I'll bring my levels down.
He didn't start. She was.
I'm just a little upset right now.
Yeah, thank you.
She went to try to slap him.
Yes, I understand.
And she got behind him. No problem.
I understand. Thank you.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank
I
you.
respond to people yelling. If nobody wants to go to jail, I get the whole thing.
Well, I understand your
So
position
until I
though,
figure
too.
stuff out, that's how it goes.
You gotta understand when somebody just runs upon you, throws a pot at the back of your head.
And that's what I can figure out.
So, but I apologize for yelling and hollering and screaming, but I was just talking to this lady, because I know her. I think we do know each other.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get her to understand that I'm disabled through deemed through the state of Nebraska. I can't walk. I can't go no farther than 2 blocks without having a basket or something up under me. So, but anyway, if you understand, I'll bring it down. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
I'll make sure he does, otherwise I'll.
Okay. Well, it's not what it is. Okay.
No more commotion.
I'll go speak with them and make sure they know that they need to leave property. I can call back. Well, actually, just let the unit keep coming.
Yeah.
Please just say it's still alive over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it
Be in the
down.
grocery.
Thank you for stopping me, because that girl, I would have kept going with the conversation.
No, but I was gonna stay here and have your back, but because I saw what
Because I
was
seen
going
y'all
on
seen
from
when
the
you
other
had
side.
the camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I
Yeah.
hope somebody's
I
recording
was
this.
trying to get around and I couldn't.
I
because
saw her
was gonna
holding
come
the
up behind her.
skillet. I was
It's
like,
just-
oh
it's
my
crazy,
god,
like, 'cause the
she
lady-
about to hit a cripple with the
She
skillet.
walked up behind him and like pushed him because she said she was going to slap him.
Oh, she
Yeah.
pushed
And
you
I said, I
first.
wish you would.
But the thing about it
He
is,
said, I wish you would.
yes,
Yeah.
she hit me
And
with
he
the pants.
pushed. She pushed him.
Yes,
yeah.
I am going to file a request report.
Okay, then I'm going to have the unit en route to speak with you.
That's fine. That's fine.
There it is.
Hey,
That's the one. She
That's
threw
the
at
one
back of my
she-
head. That's the
Yeah.
one she threw at the back of my head. The one that she just
And she
just
pushed
tossed
him
it at the
too.
back of my head.
Sir, real quick,
hey.
I just want to say it's not my intention to ignore an assault that took
I understand.
place. I just have a lot going on
I
with one person.
I understand.
And so I appreciate your patience, letting me figure
Yeah,
everything
that's why
out.
we're gonna be here for a minute.
I appreciate you letting us stay, because I would have been mad if I had to
But
go
that's
home.
the one. That's the pot that she threw at the back of my head. Like, first off, I told her
How many people do I have that are saying that it can hit people?
him and her.
And
She's got it on
you gonna
camera.
Go
say-
on record that she took that pan and hit him. Where did it hit you?
In the back of my head.
Yeah.
So first off,
Yeah.
I'm disabled through deemed through the state of Nebraska.
Let him try.
And then, but the lady who asked, I literally followed this lady from the time
Yeah,
she
we
walked
followed-
out of her cashier spot all the way to
All
the front
way
of the
to
building, and
to the car. Watch. Make
she
sure
says
got
that
out, okay?
she talked to the lady about the car, and she was supposed to be giving it to her man. And I'm like, no, that's highly impossible, because we followed them
Right.
out to the car. What nobody standing there around that
We were there from the time she was checking out,
yeah. So
and we asked her. And we
she
went.
comes off with this shit.
They
like,
only have one card available for.
there's one down there, but
assistance?
the
It's
one
dead.
that's down there is dead,
Oh,
and then there's
my
another one
goodness.
out. They only got.
See, they should have more than one
Yeah,
available.
They should.
First off,
So stuff like this, I mean, it shouldn't even got to that level,
No,
but
it shouldn't have. She
still.
just kept it up.
but you don't walk up on somebody and say, you faggot, or you whatever, bitch, you don't need that car. Look at you, I seen you walking. Girl, just because you
I
seen me
heard
walk,
what she
but
was
you ain't
saying.
seen me limping. Like, I have a deep ass limp.
Yeah.
I have a bad back. I'm on medication for, I have no hips. They removed all the bones in my hips. I'm not even supposed to be walking, but I'm walking through the grace of God. Just because I'm walking don't mean that I don't have problems breathing. I have bronchitic asthma. I got my asthma pump in my bag. Girl, you look at it and spend on have no asthma attack on. You look at it and call my damn
child.
family. How about that? Because you would have been not right.
Well, the police is on their way to take
Yeah.
your report, and I'm Tanya from the Hood Table.
Okay. Yeah. and
So
whatever-
if you said you seen me before, you might have saw me
Yeah.
from the Hood Table.
Okay.
Because I do like local news and.
Okay. Well, you want my
storyline.
number or something? Or?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes,
You
because
can-
I would love to have you on our show.
Yes. Yeah. You can
Okay.
get it for me. From me.
Okay. Okay, you guys, so you saw what actually happened in the Walmart store, and you heard what happened between the two parties at the Walmart store, and then he gave me his phone number. He told me to call him later on that night. I told him I had a show that I had already scheduled, our normal Friday Night Live, and he said, "Well, just give me a call during the show." So that's what I did. So this next clip is basically of me giving him a call while I'm live on our Friday Night Live show. Again, please make sure you like and subscribe, like and share the video, and subscribe to the Hood Table. Please and thank you very much.
Okay. Now that y'all saw the video of what went down at the Walmart, we gonna call that man right now. Hold on.
Shameless plug at the end, but a good one. But wow, that was a lot.
This is time from the hood.
Shameless plug.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You doing okay since earlier at the store today?
I'm doing fine. My back hurts me a little bit, but, nothing God won't take care of. I put it in God's hands at this point in time.
Yeah, well, that's crazy. I played the video for, the people on my YouTube channel, and a lot of people, feel, it was big, it went way too far, and it wasn't, it was just too much over a cart, just too much. So why don't you explain to us, my YouTubers,
Right.
explain to us what happened from the very beginning when you got to the store?
Okay, well, of
And
course,
hi, before you start, I'm Karma Diva, the co-host.
That does not matter to me going to the store. But as we approached Walmart, I noticed that they didn't. I'm disabled, by the way, you guys. But I can walk, you know what I'm saying? But I can't walk too far. I can't walk the whole time I'm in Walmart because Walmart's just too big for me to walk from point A to point B. So I gotta have either a shopping cart or a mobility cart, and that's what they're there for, people with mobility issues.
Mm-hmm.
So as I got to the store, my friend, my good neighbor, we went down to the car and the other side of the store to keep the car. And there was nothing on it, so I let her go. He had to go do, and I stood against the wall and watched other people get this car that was dead, and they get it from the wall and getting in this car and it's stopping on it. So I wasn't minding that, and I just, I knew if I stood there long enough, I would see come up with a car. And just as I said that, somebody did come up with. Now, check this out. I did see the guy walk in front of me on crutches at the same time he was talking about. So I asked him, not so long after I seen him walk, but I see him and his girlfriend walking out the door at the beginning, to the front of the store. And I did not see them talk to this lady, not one time. Mm-hmm. So I asked the lady when she got to the end of the register when she's checking out, I said, "Ma'am," I said, "Are you? How far are you with the car? How are you going to go to the card from me?" She said, "Yes, once I get out of the car, you can have the card. But I'm going to take it outside because my kids are going to, pull up and I'm going to put my groceries in the car and you can have the car." So me and my friend Shabbat and this lady outside the door. Now, I don't know where these people were that said that they talked to her about the cart. I don't know where they were standing at. I don't know where they were hiding at. I don't even know if they was in the store anymore. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And I really wasn't concerned because this business is not mine. So we walked the lady to the door, the beginning of the store, out, goes to her car, and she said, "Thank you, y'all have a good day." And I said, "Man, you have a card." We came to the store the wrong way. This is how I know what nobody said at the front door. They wasn't at the front door. They wasn't at the front door. They didn't ask for no cards. Mm-hmm. So as we go to the store, we go back on the top aisle. And our girlfriend was having a good conversation, and all of a sudden, some little lady walks up to me and says, "Nigga, you know you ain't supposed to be in that cart." I said, "Girl, what?" I thought I knew the girl. So she looks for me because I know a lot of females, and a lot of females know me through my sister or my nieces or whatever, and they've been to my house, and I don't know who the hell I know because I've had time. And anyway, so I'm talking to this girl, and she says, "No, nigga, no, you know you ain't supposed to be in that car. I just watched you walk and get that card. So why the fuck is you in my car?" And that card, we asked the lady for the card, and it was supposed to be going to my man because my man's on crutches. I said, "Girl, first off, I don't know you, and I don't know your man, and why the fuck is you up in my face? I was screaming, telling me what the fuck you think you know about me because you don't know nothing about me." I said, "Girl, I'm deemed disabled for you to stand in Nebraska, so I don't know why the fuck you talking about. I'm not disabled. Excuse my language if it's too much for y'all. Close your ears."
Oh no,
sorry,
you fine.
but
You
anyhow,
fine. You fine.
okay, so anyhow, so she goes, well, nigga, I just watched you walk. And I said, first off, I'm not no nigga. I am who I am. And she goes, that's the fuck out. She said, girl, you know what? When you put your hands on me, I'm going to tell you right now. I stood up off my car and I said, girl, you put your hands on me, I'm going to dog walk your ass. So, nigga walk me on the goddamn walker or cane or whatever the fuck he's on. I'll dog walk his ass too. Now that doesn't sound to some people. That doesn't sound like somebody that's disabled who can't function. When you hear disabled, you think disabled. Well, honey, God is the power and the strength to do all things through Jesus Christ.
All things through Christ.
Now,
Okay.
it gave me the power to defend myself.
Right.
I'm gonna protect myself. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So I just basically, she started calling me all kinds of fags and punks and homosexuals and drag queens. And honey, I'm gonna tell you, honey, when Miss Niecy NIECEYB gets a drag, honey, she's the key. Don't worry about all that. Good girl, you ain't nobody up in Omaha ever seen that part. So therefore, I told her that, and so she started calling me bitches and shit. I said, bitch, what?
Ooh.
Bitch again. They got up in my face, and I said, what you saying?
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes. I can't believe it. Ooh, child.
The audacity.
All those names over a cart?
Right. If he was that hurt or disabled, why did he not stay in the car?
Well, that's what somebody said in one of the comments. They was like, if your man had a crutches and he couldn't get a cart, why didn't he just stay in the car? But you know, I just came in on like the middle of the situation, so I wasn't there from the very, very beginning when he first got the card or when the lady first approached him or nothing. Y'all saw where I came in on the video. But she was going, she had that skillet in her hand. And if y'all missed, y'all might not have heard. Did you see where the other worker at the store came up with the skillet?
Yeah, I saw that at the end.
Who broke this? Now, you probably didn't hear it because you have to he wasn't talking real loud, but we was right there, so we heard. But if you put your ear to it and listen, you'll hear it. He said, who broke this skillet? And I said, I just started chuckling when he said it because I'm like, she broke the skillet?
Wow.
Like he said, she hit him over the back. Again, I didn't see that. I came up on the middle part of it. So I didn't see, all I saw was her holding the skillet in her hand. And the security guard, because he made sure to let us know he was not the po-pos. But the security guard, he was like, at the tone, please record. I'm sorry, I'm trying to call him back because his phone dropped. But the guy who worked there, he said, who broke this skillet? And we was like, well, we guess she broke it. I mean, she the one who had the skillet. So, girl, what you think about this whole situation, Karma Diva? And if anybody else is up on the screen.
Hey, Maurice.
Hey, Maurice. How you doing?
Hey, chat. How y'all doing this evening? That is just, first of all, the name calling was unnecessary. Period. Especially for somebody you don't know. And second of all, to get that upset over a cart, like I said, if your man is hurt that bad, then he probably should stay in the car. Mm-hmm. If there were no carts available for him, then he should probably stay in the car. Mm-hmm. But to assault somebody in the store over a cart, that you don't own,
You know,
that's ridiculous.
what
And
really got me. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you was. Go ahead.
and then wait a minute, I'm tripping off the police officer. If you're not police, why are you wearing a shirt representing the police?
Girl, he had
That's
the police on his shirt. That's what I didn't
right.
understand.
I saw that and I was like, he's saying he ain't police, but your shirt clearly say that in big ass letters on your back that you are police. So
Oh, I'm sorry. The phone had. I don't know what happened. Let me plug you back up to the speaker. Hold on.
but yeah, I this was just a mess.
Okay, you there?
I do,
I'm here.
Okay, I don't
and
know
I
what.
do hope charges are posted. I do hope.
My co-host said that she hoped charges will be pressed. But one thing I wanted to ask you, sir, because I was feeling some type of way about the security guard who kept reiterating that he wasn't a police, but he had police big as day on his shirt and a gun. Most security guards don't have a gun. They usually.
And so in this instance, when he told me that, that's why I looked at him. Here, I don't care what I'm. Is used to never been here. Just because
you kind of going. I'm sorry. You kind of going in and out. Are you on speakerphone? Are you on speakerphone? Oh, if you're on speakerphone, could you take it off of speakerphone because it's kind of
It's going in and out.
In and out. You there?
Deborah, you right. Tempers are flaring over the smallest things.
Yeah.
And right now, I've been saying this for a while, people need to learn how to control their emotions.
She said airport police.
I think people are emotionally stunted. They don't know how
Hello,
to.
Are you there?
You know, this guy approves himself as a police officer, and he don't fear me because I've been to the penitentiary. I've been in jail all my young life. I'm put it that way because I haven't been in jail in the last 25 years. So, you know, I corrected myself after the last time I went to the penitentiary, and I know what to do and how to conduct myself in public. First off, but why he presented himself telling me you need to leave the store. First off, that's not how you ask nobody to leave the store. You don't tell nobody that they need to leave the store. He should have said, excuse me, sir, can you calm down, take a breath, and then leave the store, or come with me to the front of the store so we can discuss this matter. You just don't walk on nobody that's in a heated rage and somebody just threw a pot at me. Now, if that was your mama or your brother, your sister, they threw a pot at them, nigga, you be in a rage too. So couldn't nobody talk to you either. Like I told him, ain't no color barrier here when it goes down in front of these white people. Ain't no niggas, ain't no white people, no black people. But I'm gonna tell you what, when you got two black people yapping at each other and calling each other fags and punks and hoes and bitches and whatever, can't nobody hear nothing, and ain't nobody going to hear nothing. And it's going to take a whole lot. If it hadn't been from you, Miss Tanya, or Tanya, if it hadn't been from you and the pastor telling me to put that pot down, I wouldn't have heard nothing.
Yeah.
It takes two. It takes two to calm somebody down. So if it hadn't been from you, saying, please, sir, put the pot down. Please. So you don't know my name, but you said, please put the pot down. And I heard that. When I heard that cry, I said, I'm going to put this pot down, because if I hit this bitch with this pot, I'm going to jail.
Yep. But the thing about it that concerned me was how the officer, I thought the officer should have been like, could you tell me what's going on? Could you tell me what's happening? Could you explain why she hit you? He immediately was like, get out the store. And although you were like, well, that girl and her man still out there, and she threatened me, he was like, go out the other door. He didn't even calm down until I approached and said he was not responsible for the starting of the fight. And then pastor, the guy who was the other black, he's a pastor. I know him. Me and his wife grew up together. So I told the cops, I said, he's a pastor. I know him. He wouldn't lie. He would not sit there and lie as a pastor and say the other person started the fight if he didn't see her start the fight. Then that's when the officer was like, oh, well, I'm the only one here. That was totally inappropriate. And you need to file a report against him, too.
Yeah, but you know what? As I said, you see in the video, I asked him what his name is, and he told me never to mind.
Right.
Like I said, like he told me in the video, it shows in the video, when I asked him what his name was, he said, that does not matter. And I said, the fuck it don't?
Right. It does matter.
You work for Walmart and you work for the police department, but I couldn't get that out at the time because I was on another page. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I felt like Oprah Winfrey in Color Purple when she got ready to meet that white man.
Well, we was pleading for you, and I don't even know you, but me and my pastor friend, he saw the whole thing. I just came in the middle, but we were pleading basically because I felt like no matter if the fight was your fault or her fault, my whole thing was because who started it. You are in a wheelchair. You can't walk, and the lady threatened you. And she said, "I'm be outside. Come outside." So if you would have went outside, what if she would have been like on 10 still and wanted to fight you while you in a wheelchair? So, and he said, you can go out the other door. I thought that was totally inappropriate. And that's why y'all heard me saying, please don't put him out the store. I said, please don't put him out the store.
And I'm seeing exactly what you're saying and what you're getting at. And it did kind of take me away when he said that, but I didn't want to just sit there and dispute that with him.
I know.
When he said it the third time, when he said, I don't care how you get out of the store, but get out of the store. You got to leave the premises. You got to get off the premises. And when I told him that I was not going outside because that woman was still outside, he said, I don't care. Go out the other door.
That was so wrong.
First off, I wasn't parked on that end of the block. I was parked on closer to where I was when I came in. That's where we were parked at. So why would I go out on the other end? Go all the way down the other end. So you start trying to start some shit. And see, that's what happens when we have a misunderstanding in instances like we have, because people don't see it the right way. They see it, well, as long as we got them off the property, they was out there in the parking lot acting a fool, and then that gives them terms to put their hands on somebody
and try to arrest you.
Regardless if it's able or not, regardless if she's on 10 or not, that gives them the dog, tie them down, and knock me out of my wheelchair and put me down on the ground, face down in the mud, and say, well, this man came out the store, and to meet her out in the parking lot, that's how they're going to see it, and that's how they will categorize it. If he came out the store and meet her out in the parking lot, there's no way around it. So this is why I'm glad that you were there. I'm glad the pastor was there, and I thank you guys for standing up for me and having my back. Because it's not that I didn't feel like nobody had my back. I know God has my back. Because God's not here with us to speak up for me. But there were two people there that stood up for me, and I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
You are so welcome. Like I said, I wasn't there from the beginning. My pastor friend was. I came in on the middle part. But I again, and I want to reiterate, it don't matter if she was at fault, if you were at fault. The fact of the matter was, I thought the officer, aka security guard, was acting inappropriate, and he should have been more concerned. We talking about a man who is handicapped and in a wheelchair, and you told him several times that she hit you in the back of the head of skillet. He wasn't like, are you hurt? Are you sore? Do I need to call the ambulance? He was not concerned at all. He was just like, get out the store.
Okay, and do you not know that after we separated, he came and found me and my next door neighbor on the cat aisle for where the dog feed is, and then he asked me over in the corner, back in the back of the store. He said, "Are you okay? Or do you need an ambulance?" He said, "I'm just kind of to let you know that we do have police today, and but what we need for you to do right now, we would like for you to come to the front of the store so we can get your complaint or your side of the story and everything." And by the time we made it up to the front of the store, the pastor was in the office giving his side of the story and his people and his family. And we were standing outside the office because, I couldn't get up. I could have got out of the chair, but I wasn't trying to lose my chair because I wasn't done finished shopping. Right. But the officer said, well, go ahead and sit there in the chair and explain to me what happened. And I did. And basically, the pastor came out and he said, no, I'm going to tell y'all exactly what happened. And he said, this is exactly what happened. But like I told him, I don't remember picking up a pot and throwing it at her. I remember picking up a pot and probably dropping it on the floor. But I remember picking up a pot. But that bitch took a whole pot and hit me in the back. Right. So, but my thing is, what do you do with an officer that does stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I know where you're trying to get at, Tanya. He needs to be reprimanded for that. And
He does.
See, now, I'm sorry.
Oh, my co-host want to say something. Go ahead, Carmel Diva.
Go ahead.
So what I was gonna say is the only reason he sought you out in the store is because he know he fucked up. Because he should have offered you, like she said, medical in the first place.
Attention.
One of the first things he should have done was offered you medical assistance. Secondly, he did not handle that situation appropriately because he should have A, separated you guys, and then B, taken the report right then and there on the spot. And then called the police in to further handle the matter.
Exactly.
And the pastor, bless his heart, he probably stepped up and went and seen that, wasn't any steps being taken and probably made sure that a report was made. But like Tanya said, it's a good thing she has him on camera because even though he didn't give you his name, Walmart got his name. Walmart knows his name. And if he wrote up a report, get a copy of it and his name will be on there. And that way you can go ahead and press charges or whatever you want to do to take it a step further, that he's reprimanded or, he is trained better, how, whatever they want to call it. But
he ain't even a cop. He ain't even a cop.
It was just ridiculous.
He's a security.
It had to even go to this level.
Imagine if he was a cop. And he
can't
acted like
hear
this
you.
As a security guard.
I gotta go out.
Okay, Carmel Diva. As a security guard, he's acting like that. So imagine if he was a cop on the street.
So basically, when I see incidents, I ain't never had nothing like this happen to me either. It's never happened to me like this, never. But in the matter of it happening, and when I see the cop come around the corner, the first thing I see is said to myself, oh my God, here comes somebody pretending to be a cop, because I knew he wasn't a cop, because if he had been a cop, he would not be in secret hiding places throughout the store. He would be well known that he was in the store. So first off, I didn't know that he was even in the store. Second off, anytime you give anybody nowadays with this coronavirus that's going on, a position to play cop, they're going to act like they're the sheriff. Okay? So basically, he took that badge and put it on his body to say, I'm a cop and I'm going to do what I have to do as a cop, and I'm going to be just like a cop. Well, first off, you did exactly that as a cop, because you didn't do it. You didn't handle the situation as a cop. You handled it as one of these cops on the street, like if somebody had a gun, or somebody was fight, literally putting hands, like literally brawling each other out up in the store. So, and I say to myself, like, he don't scare me. He's not going to scare me, because they react to your fear. That's what they want you to do. They want you to act and get all crazy with them. I'm not going to get crazy with you. First off, I'm not going to listen to you, because you're not going to tell me to just get up off the car. And I just told you I can't walk. So you're going to tell me to just leave the store? So that means you're going to take your step and you're going to follow me out the store through out the whole goddamn Walmart until I get outside. And you're going to turn around and come in back inside the store and stand there and watch this woman attack me outside the store.
No, and then the thing about it is, I know for a fact if we weren't there, he would have made you leave the store. Even if you promised like 3 or 4 times to tone it down and calm down, because you was on 10. I would have been on 10 too. You were arguing. I mean, who ain't on 10 when they arguing?
Right.
But if we weren't there, he would have made you leave the store. And if he would have made you leave the store, the proper thing to do in his position was to walk you to your car. That was a proper thing, but I know he wouldn't have done that. Especially
since you had already been assaulted by this woman. So yeah, the proper thing would have been to escort you to your vehicle.
And like I said, when I told him, I said, how dare you ask me to leave the store, and I just got assaulted by this woman. And that's when I got ready to walk off, push off in the car. And I told him, how dare you ask me to leave the store, and I just got assaulted by this woman. And that's when I got ready to ask him his name and stuff. Then he was telling me my name don't matter. Yes, it does too. Your name does matter.
That's
Basically, it wouldn't. It does matter then to get it done because I know Walmart has it on film. Because as we were leaving from the front of the store talking to the police officers, I heard the manager that sits in that office, that sat in that office, the woman that came around the corner. She's been watching everything that goes in the store. She said, this started at 6:30, and the woman assaulted him first. She was telling the police officer, see right here, you can see the woman assault him first. So I heard everything that was said in that office, so I knew I wasn't in the wrong. But as far as how that officer was dealt with, they was getting in his ass by the time we got ready to leave the office.
Yeah, because
well, good.
You could have fathered that on the police officer for not coming to your aid. I mean, security guard with a big police sign on his back.
Right.
But
hell, if that's the case, I can go walk around with a shirt on to say police on it. He's in. You know what? Get him wrote up for impersonating a police officer. That's what you press charges on him for. Impersonating a police officer.
Oh my
God!
goodness.
And but the thing about it is, there's so much going on. I'm trying not to just fall into the statistics of black meeting or having an encounter with a cop because that's what they want us to do. They want us to act ignorant. They want us to fall for the fallout and they start. The way you're talking to the cop. When I walked away, when I was pushed away, on another video it shows her calling the cop. He faggot cop. She never said nothing about me being calling me a fag or a punk or whatever. She was talking to God. You a motherfucking faggot ass cop. You a punk ass cop. Okay, so girl, you talking with everybody up in Walmart because not only you throwing pots and pans at me, you got a problem with this cop.
Right.
For him to act like he acted, I saw that. What I'm trying to say is I saw that. I didn't react to his big spike. Oh my God, there's a cop here. Oh, I'm going to get all nervous and start trying to lie my way about it. Girl, there's no way I'm going to lie about nothing because it's all on camera. And I know the moment I get to lying, it's going to catch up to me before or after a hearing. Yep. And I'm not here to try to get caught up in none of my lies. But, basically, the thing about the cop is he did not do it in the right way. He did not respond to nothing in the right way.
Could be this is the first day of the rest of your life, but if you want it, you gotta fight for it.
Not at all.
That's on his part, and I'll leave that on him. That's on his conscience. Nothing will be on my conscience. But what do we do in the midst of cops acting like cops? What do we do?
You have to report him. I'm all about, if you treat me dirty, I'm reporting you. But you know what's even sad, sir? What I thought was really sad, that all was, disturbing. But what I thought was really sad was how the lady was going off like that with her little girl right there. And the little girl was just sitting there staring. She was probably about 9 or 10 years old, it looked like. And she was like, come on, girl. And I mean, she was like, you fat, you fuck you. I mean,
and the sad part is that little girl was probably used to that.
Like her daughter heard her from wherever her daughter and her daddy was, at the front of the store, at the back of the store, what it was. But the little girl came around the corner and she started crying. So I'm Mommy, stop! I mean, literally, this girl is crying for her. And I wanted to say, girl, you look at your daughter, girl. But when she got ready to hit me with that pot again, she picked up another pot. And that's when I grabbed the pot.
And that's when the police said, put it down.
One more time, I'm going to well on your ass, and I don't give a fuck who's in front of me. I don't give a damn, but
yeah.
Something told me, like I said, when I heard the pastor's voice and Tanya's voice, they told me to put the pot down. I had no choice but to put the pot down.
Well, the thing is, I'm not gonna lie. I done been in many fights, and I done had arguments as a grown person with children. But there are certain times where I'm like, okay, depending on the situation, taking it over 10 in front of your kids, it's not a good look. Like you arguing and you using the F-bomb and calling people the F word. I mean, that's so disrespectful, and it teaches your kids that you can call people the F word. Like we come on now, that's something that we should have stopped doing back in the 90s. Like it's the 2000s, and regardless if you're gay or straight, those are names you shouldn't call people, and you shouldn't. Your children shouldn't hear you call people that.
But you know what? It doesn't only just what happens today everybody that it don't only happen in Walmart, that this goes on a daily basis, because I have been at other places where the kids just outright call me a bag. Oh, Mom, look at that bag. Oh, Mom, is he gay? Oh, Mom, is that a girl?
And you know why they saying it usually taught at home.
And it's like, and my sister would be with me, and she was like, Roger, didn't respond to that because their parents are teaching them that. You get what I'm saying? And my attitude, I'm going to tell y'all my attitude on stuff like that, because I'm from the South. I'm from Dallas. I'm from Delton, Texas, honey. And when I hear stuff like that, people being disrespectful to an adult that they don't know and don't know nothing about, they just outright call you those names, my thing is to attack. My first thought is to attack. Matters if the mama is there, matters if the daddies are there. I'm going to attack to defend myself. And sometimes it does not need to be. Some things need to be said, some things don't need to be said. But when you got two people on 10, it's hard not to say those things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to speak up for her because she was wrong. She knew her daughter was there. She knew her husband was there. She simply she could have just said, sir, do you really need that walker? Do you need to be on the power chair? Do you really need to be in that chair? And I would have simply said, yes, I do.
You know, this is one of the reasons why Keontae, my co-host, she posted earlier, was it today yesterday about the Black Lives Matter.
Yesterday.
Right? We always harping about Black Lives Matter when it comes to police brutality, but in our own neighborhoods, do Black Lives matter? I mean, on a day-to-day basis, when you leave the house, when you on your way home, do Black lives really matter?
No, it don't, because I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing from my standpoint. My standpoint is I'm saying this. Now that this Black Lives Matter thing is about, this is the second time around we done heard Black Lives Matter, okay? So the cops are aware of this. The cops know that we are getting as a black. We may not be a black community. We may not be together on a lot of issues as a black community or black families or whatever. But when it's time to get together, they know if we get in a group that our power, our voices, our love, our compassion for one another is stronger than theirs.
Yeah, it is.
They fear that. They fear that, and they know that we can overpower them by our creativeness, our minds, our ideas, our ways of life. You know what I'm saying? They don't want a new change by black people. They fear it. They have a fear of blacks overcoming the world or overcoming the United States because they don't want to see this. It's been white for so long, and what do we do about it? We need to stand together as a community, but we can't do that when we got people out here wanting to have differences with somebody the same race. I love everybody. I'm a person. I'm gonna love everybody until you either piss me to the point off to where I gotta black out.
Same here.
I'm sure that was with everybody, but when it comes to us standing up as a community, as a family, a strong family, whatever we want to call ourselves out here, then that's what we need to do. Because what's going to happen is these white people, the Ku Klux Klan, these Donald Trumpers, or Trumpies, or Jumpox, or whatever the hell, and these other people with this big money out here, they're going to pay their way. They're going to have other races people in with their colors behind these caps and gowns and stuff, killing us off and making it look like it's black people doing it.
Yeah.
And that's not fair. And I saw that in Walmart today as I was lashing out to this woman, and I'm talking and hollering and screaming. When I saw the cop come, I was like, I hope this don't turn into if somebody gets shot, somebody gets hurt. Because simply the cops could have just said, you go your way, I'll deal with you, but I'm going to deal with you, ma'am, because you got the biggest mouth. But he didn't go to her. He didn't go at her like that. He came to me because I was talking to you and talking to other people around me who wanted to know the story or wanted to get the scoop on what was happening. You know, and me being a black male, me being a homosexual male, I'm a little loud. I'm a little unbuxuous when I get pissed off. But I mean, who don't?
I mean, y'all is arguing, and that's why I said, you know, I do commentary on different subjects from the hood to the White House, and as a person who does commentary, Again, it didn't matter if you were in the wrong or she was in the wrong. The whole situation could have been dealt better if the police would have. I know he's trained to react on situations like these, fights and disputes at a place that they are securing. I keep saying police because he had a police shirt on, but he keeps saying the security guard. But y'all know what I mean. He had to be trained in those situations, and I'm sure his training does not say if somebody say they are attacked, you kick them out the store. And you don't know your name and no questions asked, and you don't check to see if they need, medical attention. And so that's why I stepped in. It wasn't because it wasn't more of he needed help or she needed help or she was wrong or he was wrong. I saw the police not acting, the security guard, not acting as he should have been. And that's why I begged the police, the security guard, and somebody, I had posted a video and somebody said, I wouldn't have pleaded with him to stay in the store. I would have left the store and I would have just filed a complaint. And I was like, but the thing about it is you are handicapped and you are in a wheelchair. And basically for the handicapped people and people who are disabled, it's a little harder to get back and forth to places. So yeah, he could have left the store. He could have filed a complaint, but why not make sure the man can continue his shopping and then y'all settle the situation later? That's what should have happened.
I seen when you came around the corner with your camera and you came in just on time to catch the police officers.
He was rude. He was rude.
Yeah, it was supposed to be security job. I see the point that you're trying to make sure that he wasn't doing the parading. And there's no justification for that because he wasn't. He didn't handle it the way he should have handled it. And it's basically like I was arguing with him. Basically, he wanted to argue with me. I guess he chose the loudest and the strongest voice, which was mine. But she was the most volatile voice in the situation.
Yeah, she was hot. She was hot.
She literally took off and was walking toward the I'm not going to run from nothing. I don't fear nobody but Jesus, honey. Because that's the man I fear. But when he stepped in, I thought you came in with your camera. I'm like, that wasn't got a camera. I wonder if she's recording it. She recorded the right thing because,
That's funny. Somebody actually was hoping I record. Like... It's so funny because that's what I'm known for catching scenes.
I promise you, she sleep with a police scanner by her head.
Some situations get recorded and they don't get recorded the right way, and they put out a different message of what's going on. I hope and I pray that the message that you recorded, that everybody sees it, because I ain't gonna lie to you, a lot of people stop my neighbor across the street over there already since we've been home. And so they're, hey girl, we see you on Facebook, on YouTube.
Well, if you subscribe to our The Hood Table channel, we do commentary on different issues, and we try so hard to not be biased. We try so hard to not take sides. We just release the stories. And then, if people want to, say what happened and give us their experience of the topic, we let them speak. But, we're not here to be like, oh, send her to jail, send him to jail, send her.
Right.
Especially when it come to things in our neighborhood, in our own neighborhood, we just try to shine a light on things that happen, and people need to notice certain things that happen. And I think sometimes we just need to make better decisions, when things like this happen.
Period. Better decisions, period.
Yeah, this could have totally went another way. I'm just glad nobody else was seriously
And
hurt.
I'm glad nobody was seriously hurt either. I mean, my back hurts a little bit, just disposition of the way I was sitting, but she did hit me with that pot pretty good. But what I want to everybody that's listening and that as you do your report on this story to take away from this whole day or the whole incident is that don't think it's because you're white and you got cop written on your shirt that you cannot be succumb to anything that happens to your ass. Your way because you say the story don't mean that everything is right. And then what person doing is right, because sometimes other people look at you and they will say it's wrong rather than black and white. And I had so many people in that store walk up to me and say, that cop was kind of asshole, wasn't he? Or he was kind of wrong for what he did, though, didn't he? So.
Yeah, because everybody saw it, and I'm sure people was taken back. And you saw me; I was standing right there in my camera. He was like, "Leave the store." I'm standing there like, I'm serious. I was standing in my camera like, I ain't going nowhere. I don't know where anybody else going, but I'm standing right here.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm glad that you weren't. I know you in a little pain right now, but I hope things work out.
In shock. I was dumbfounded because I'm like, did this bitch just hit me with a fucking pot?
Right in the middle of Walmart.
I'm like, girl, I literally turned around because, like I told you guys, I had a conscience. Something kept telling me. I had you guys behind me. Well, this was before y'all told me to put the pot down. My sister always told me that anytime you get into an argument with somebody, you got to call her a bitch and she got to call you a bitch. She said, get it out and then let it go. Call her a couple of bitches, let her call you a couple of fags or punks or whatever. But don't look at it like you got to react to that, just because you know what you are. And what you are bright in your world. You're good at what you do. You love what you do and who you are. So it shouldn't offend you. But when the girl started talking about, I'll slap you and I'll and run up on me and call. Wait a minute, this was gonna get y'all. Y'all didn't get this far. She told me, she said, call me a bitch again. I told her, I said, BITCH, bitch.
It was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I swear to God, it was so real at the moment. You had to have been there. I mean, we can giggle about it now a little bit, but when it happened, it was like, oh my God, this can't be happening. Like
it happened. Like I thought I was like, oh my God. So I just said to myself, I'm just gonna leave this conversation alone. And I turned my little car around and I was going down the aisle, and girl, after a corner of my eye, I seen this bitch reach on the shelf and grab that pot and throw it. I said, oh hell no.
And see, that's why I brought the kid in, because again, my sons, I'm not even gonna act like I ain't never had my sons witness me go from 0 to 1,000, but the words that were used, picking up objects, a handicapped man in a wheelchair, and your child standing there watching, that was the wrong time. Everything, it shouldn't have happened. It just shouldn't have happened.
It should have been better decisions made on a lot of different parts. And, I understand in the heat of a moment, nobody's thinking about, how this looks, how this is going to affect a child standing there. But, it's hard to articulate. We have to do better, especially by our kids, and whether they are our blood kids or not. We have to do better because we have to set a better example for them.
Yeah.
So that goes to say, looking at it from where I'm looking at it from, when the child stepped in the picture and she started crying for her mommy to stop yelling and screaming, if I had, now, and I don't know if y'all are going to agree with me on this, and I don't know if you're not going to agree with me on this, and then I understand if you do or you don't, but if I had took that pop and slapped her mama as hard as I was going to knock that hole upside her head with that pot, that little girl would have been in her memory for a long time. And she would have never forgotten the day that her mama got hit upside the head in Walmart.
I expect you are correct, but but I'm so glad that you did not. I'm so glad that you did not.
This is another reason why I put that pot down when that little girl started crying, because I got nieces and nephews too, and I know that my sister, when she goes off on me or when she's cussing me out about issues in her in the privacy of wherever we're at or wherever, or when she's getting into it with somebody, and her daughter happens to hear it or whatever, or when her sister raises her voice about anything, her daughter always pleads her, Mom, please stop crying, please stop yelling and screaming. It's hurting my ears, it's hurting my heart, and we stop or whatever. And I would think that she would have heard her daughter say, Mom, stop. That's why.
Right.
Well, you know, when you on 10, you on 10. You know, I'm just saying, hey, when you on 10, when you go from 0, sometimes you don't hear. You just be on fire. You be lit. You don't hear nobody saying stop. I mean, I know those days. I know those experiences. I remember times where my mom used to try to break me up, and I'm like, I don't hear her. I'm cussing. I'm swinging at her. And when you know, we didn't all have those moments, you know, where you been,
Right.
you can't hear Jesus if he tap you on your shoulder and say, "Child, be still." So you know, I know, but I just it's a lesson to be learned in this whole experience. It's a lesson to be learned in this whole experience.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and it's not like I told my neighbor, it's not like I'm walking in the store being all gay and sissified or punked out, or what do they call it, gaying out, or what do they call it nowadays, acting like a sissy or punk or whatever. I'm a bagging out. I don't know what they call it nowadays. Hell, I'm 47 years old. I don't even get down like that no more. But I know what I am, and I know what I'm true to. But it's not like I came in the store being disrespectful in my language, or disrespecting you guys, or disrespecting anybody in that store. Like, I was totally just out of the dark disrespected, and I'm like, first off, you're not going to do that to me. Don't come for me if I ain't sent for you.
Okay.
You're not going to tell me that I'm not disabled, and I know that I'm disabled. You know, you sit here trying to argue with a disabled man, and the disabled man is telling you, girl, yes, I am disabled. You can't come up over here telling me that I'm not disabled and get up out this chair and walk. You ain't Jesus. Nor are you Moses. You gonna keep talking. You gonna get some red seeds parted already. You gonna get some red seeds parted in your brain.
Ooh, child. Ooh.
See, now they talk. If now the next person to tell you ain't disabled, I say, okay, and let me see your medical degree. Let me see your medical license.
And that's why I don't trip. You know, when I was young,
because I too am medically disabled. And I've had people ask me that just because you don't see my disability, don't mean that I'm not disabled.
And I was
until
you say that.
Right, and until you sign my medical paperwork, until you are the one giving me a physical or listening to me crying because I'm in pain, you ain't shit you can tell me.
And that's what I was about to say. When I was younger, you know, I was in, you know, when you're younger, you say and do stupid stuff. So when I was younger, I would see people parking a handicap and they seem like they walking away just as well as I am. But, you know, once I got older and realized there are ailments that you cannot see sometime on the outside. It took me getting older and more knowledgeable and a little wiser with time to realize there are people who might walk as well as you do, but they might have a heart problem. They might have, you know, kidney disease. They might have, you know, something wrong with their brain, anything. And if they parking in the handicap, you know, and they got a handicap sticker, even they look like they can jog to the front of the stove. It doesn't bother me anymore. That was something, like I said, when I was younger. You know, the thing is, once we get to a certain age, we have to start acting like our age. I have to start acting more mature. And I would have never called anybody the F word, and it's not because it's disrespectful, but I have friends who are gay. I have family members who are gay. I have family members who were scared to come out to us for years, and it's like I treat them the way I treat anybody else because you my family and you my friend, and I don't give a doggone what you do in your bedroom. That's between you and God. So you know, I raise my kids like that. You don't call people those names. You are not the judge. You are not the judge of people. So that's something, like I said, this whole situation is a lesson. This whole situation.
See, I like to tell people I can't condemn or condone what you do. And we all got our sins to atone for. Hell, how am I going to sit here and count your sins and I got plenty of my own? Shit.
Right, exactly.
We all got to stand in front of the king one day.
I done sinned and fallen short. What's that Bible verse? All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, probably a million times, and woke up. God, please forgive me if I would never do this again.
Okay.
I swear to God.
I know I personally have said that. I know I've said that one
I'm telling you, I said that prayer so many times.
on too many occasions.
Yes, yes.
I ain't perfect.
We do it
So,
every time, right?
Yep, pray and be like, "Oh Lord Jesus, please." But yeah,
Yeah, so, but I do appreciate you ladies taking the concern.
no
and my
problem. It's no
well-being
problem at all.
and my health and everything, and hopefully this matter don't happen again. Because I'm the type of bitch. Excuse my language, I ain't no bitch, but I'm the type of guy or person who likes to take action on a certain thing.
Oh, we can.
I may not follow up on a lot of things, but things like this that happened today, I would definitely follow up on.
Oh, we get it.
yeah.
Trust me, we get it, and that's the reason why I stayed there right next to you. And I was like, I have to talk to you later tonight. I'll be. My people gonna call your people. Yeah. Again, I'm so glad that you're not.
Yes.
Because
seriously injured from this.
And yeah, go ahead. My co-host got something to say.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I'm glad that Tanya was there. I'm glad that the pastor was there to help assist you. And it's time for us in the Black community to start being a family again, to start helping one another and caring for and about each other. Because when we, from the time we walk out our door, we all have a target on our back from everybody else in the world. So it's time for us to come back together, to start being a family, to start being that community that cares and takes care of one another like it used to be.
Yeah, and that goes for all. I mean,
yes.
I mean, I don't care if you people, gay, straight. I don't care. We need to come together in our community.
Right. Right.
We are in our community will be the stronger. Will show people that we have force behind our power. And there's power in our force, and that we can stand. We've already done show white people that we can make it through anything.
Yeah,
and
right.
Overcome anything, and we can achieve anything.
Yeah.
But what they don't want to see is us overcoming their power. And to be honest with you, the white man has to fight harder every day to keep us down. So while they're out saying that we as a Black community are fighting every day to get on top, yes, we're fighting every day to get on top, but we're not fighting every day and fighting at our night sweat to hold somebody down. Because it's hard to hold somebody down than to fight to hold somebody to bring somebody up. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. I get it.
Because the white man has always been in the up and been on top and been there and getting away with shit. So they don't want to see another race come from nothing or come from cotton to millions and billions and trillions and being on top.
Right.
Because white man has always had the upper hand on everything. And they don't want to see us as a Black unity, a community have nothing.
Right.
Because the white race is dying off faster than the Black race right about now.
Yeah.
And it don't seem like it, but they are.
It is.
I'm saying so in the same breath, we as a Black community, we can't come together and this is what I'm taking from God, and this is how I'm seeing God speak to me, because God is saying as a Black community, if you Black people or you people as a community, people come together as a community, I have no choice but to step in.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I have no, as a God, I have no choice but to step in and open my gates and show y'all, hey, this is what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. But we so busy with looting and tearing other black people down and tearing our own selves down, so used to that, for doing that for so long. The white man done taught us a bad habit, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've learned to pit us against each other and to make us divisive. They pit us against each other and make us divisive, and they've done a very good job about it. And we are still playing into that to this day. And
now that we as a black community want to turn things around and be there for each other and stand up for each other and have a communion with each other, you know what I'm saying? Because black people can't have a communion. They don't understand that why they want to get together now. We don't held them down and suppress them for so long, and we just suppress them for another year or two. Let's suppress them for another. No, it's time for y'all to get y'all knees off our necks.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's time for them to get our knees off their neck, and at the same time, it's time for us to come together more often than when somebody is killed by a police officer. That's why I understand why Deborah, in the chat, one of our members to the Hood Table Squad, she was saying, Black Lives Matter. We can't use that for every different scenario, and I get that because I know why it was originally came across Black Lives Matter. But my thing is that we go out there and rally and tear up stuff and burn down stuff, when police do us wrong, but then every day we doing each other wrong. And so that's why I said we need to also matter to each other too. I mean,
and I was going to rebut that.
But this might not have been a Black Lives Matter issue in Wally World, but we do need to care for each other more. I think if we care for each other more and came
don't understand that why they want to get together now. We don't held them down and suppress them for so long, and we just suppress them for another year or two. Let's suppress them for another. No, it's time for y'all to get y'all knees off our necks.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's time for them to get our knees off their neck, and at the same time, it's time for us to come together more often than when somebody is killed by a police officer. That's why I understand why Deborah, in the chat, one of our members to the Hood Table Squad, she was saying, Black Lives Matter. We can't use that for every different scenario, and I get that because I know why it was originally came across Black Lives Matter. But my thing is that we go out there and rally and tear up stuff and burn down stuff, when police do us wrong, but then every day we doing each other wrong. And so that's why I said we need to also matter to each other too. I mean,
and I was going to rebut that.
But this might not have been a Black Lives Matter issue in Wally World, but we do need to care for each other more. I think if we care for each other more and came together more often on a regular basis, we wouldn't have so much police brutality, because the police would see us already acting up and cutting up and, doing things for each other and not fighting against each other. And they'll already be like, oh, these niggers, we don't want to mess with them in their community, because we rallying together, on an everyday basis. So that's all I'm saying. And again, this video, I'm glad. I hate that it happened, but I'm glad I caught it on tape, because it's a lesson. There's so many lessons in this video, from how we treat each other to how we could, treat a situation different, to how the cop should have treated the situation different. And, to us onlookers, standing up for someone who wasn't being listened to by the security guard, cop, whatever you call them. So it's so many lessons in that story. Sometimes you have to stand up. And when that policeman or security guard was telling him to leave and he was acting really, really serious, I could have been like, oh, I'm turning around. I'm walking out of here. No, sometimes we have to, stand in the gap and be there for someone else, even if we don't know them. So That's all I'm saying. But you know what? You're gonna have to give us the update on this. And also, one of my subscribers who is a member to the Hood Table channel, she said that we need to have a conversation. So we might have to do another show, and I might have to invite you onto another show because she said she wants to have a conversation about being gay in the Black community. What is the root of why we take issues with it?
Okay, and then and just give me a call. And
yeah, I sure will.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Perfect person to discuss that question because she's like, we need to have a question like, why so many Black people take issues with gay Black people in our community? It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
I think a lot of, just to kind of touch on that. I think a lot of it has to do with how we were raised. A lot of us were raised in church, and we were all raised. Oh, being gay is a sin. Is you're going to hell, and God don't love this and that. But as we get older, you have to think in all of this universe, everything. If He knows how many hairs I got on my head
before you are born.
You mean to tell me He can't love this little gay person right here? He can't love this person? Are you serious? And so a lot of it, like I said, has to do with how we were raised. And a lot of that, let's be honest, a lot of them pastors that were preaching this was in the closet themselves, or the deacons themselves was in the closet, or meddling with little teenage girls back then. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil.
Child.
So, but
that's a topic for another day. Okay, we gonna end this interview right here.
Because I will go there. I will go there, Tanya. But
I do want the update on what happens if you manage.
Yes.
Something happen with the security guard or whatever. You got my phone number, so feel free to hit me up anytime, and I will be contacting you because we're gonna do a show probably within the next week or so about gay issues in the Black community, and I would love for you to be a guest on our show.
And please like, share, and subscribe.
And your co-host. I appreciate you guys giving me a call and a shout out.
No problem. You're welcome.
I will be there. I will be there with 10 bells on. How about that?
All right now.
And we're looking forward to that. Thank you for coming on and just saying your piece, letting us know exactly what happened and how you are doing. And we do look forward to hearing from you again. And like I said, we want you to subscribe and continue to support the channel as we continue to try to support you and our community.
Yes,
That's right. That's right. Well, I'll be talking to you soon, and you have a wonderful evening, okay?
Y'all have a wonderful evening too, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. God bless.
God bless you too.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.